Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. Welcome to the Galactic Update for the week of October 24th. I am John Henry, and this is the lovelier Danielle.
Hi guys! So, recently, John Henry and I went to Comic Fest, as you can see by our lovely apparel. And it was super good time, San Diego's Comic Fest. You should have been there, hope you were. If you did, leave us comments below about all the cool things that you saw. I went to a panel that taught me, or helped me out with grading comic books. It was put on by the SoCal Comic guys. Good job. I really liked it because people call all the time asking how much things are worth, and I always felt really insecure, but now I feel a little wiser, a little better. Did you learn anything or gain any awesome experiences?
I had a lot of fun. It's extremely nice for people who are a little, feel a little claustrophobic at cons, especially the big one. And it's really nice, not constantly bumping into people. It's more intimate. You actually get to, talk to people as much as you want. No one's in a rush. It was just a lot more open, and found some really cool stuff.
Me too.
And,
nice.
If you felt like talking to the artists or really like getting into like people's work, there wasn't a bunch of people behind you trying to ask whatever they want to ask about, and stuff like that.
And the haggling was great too, because there's less people, so they're not like all egotistical about it, and you can really haggle them in. And I got like $10 off my Pez. It was $25.
She spent a lot of money on a Pez dispenser.
It was awesome.
All right, let's get started for the week. Are you gonna go first?
New comics. Yeah, I'll go first. I'll go with something easy peasy lemon squeezy, and that is Adventure Time. We're on number 9, and so for all those who are following, it's been such good times, right? So Bebop, robots, evil robots, into the future, back from the future, Cyborg, gotta go back to younger because they don't want to be old, Princess Bubblegum doesn't remember a goddamn thing, and it was quite a wacky adventure, and I think the adventure is pretty much closing, so they're going to have to start a new one soon, and I am going to keep following it because I love it.
Yeah, if you don't watch the cartoon, you're missing out on the greatest thing ever put on TV.
Ever.
Period. Next, Wolverine Max, number 1. If any of you are familiar with the Marvel Max series, it's basically like R-rated series for their more, darker characters, and you basically get to see, lots of people die, and your favorite characters cuss a lot.
A lot. It's like the first 2 pages. F, 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 F.
And all the Max series that I've read have been just so much fun. And finally they're doing one with Wolverine, which is something to follow, obviously, for people that want to see him actually get to kill people. And you get to see him take out a great white shark. The shark just comes out of nowhere. It was so good. Arr! I had no idea. I mean, he was in the water, but sharks, I
didn't see it coming. Anyway, you know who would have saw it coming? God, I have really great segues, don't I? I don't plan this, guys.
You're just so organic and natural.
So I read this. I read this extra. This wasn't even on the John and I's agreed reading list this week, but I finished my comics early, so I thought I'd pick up another one. Madam X. Super fun because it's in New Orleans, so I enjoy the scenery and sometimes the cool dialogue. And it's cool. She thought she was going to be famous tarot card reader. It didn't work out for her, so now she works at a law firm and helps the law firm out. This issue was really fun. It had voodoo, zombies, and a mystery. What more do you need from a comic book? It was great. So, check it out.
Superman number 13. Superman finds out more about the limitations of his powers and is still jealous over Lois even after he totally stooped Wonder Woman in Justice League 12. Also, it is the prequel to the big Hell on Earth that they're going to do, which is the big Superman crossover that's going to be all across the titles for the next couple months. So everyone get on board for that.
Spike!
I should have thrown something else in there,
No,
but we're just going to keep going.
That was good.
And
I was like almost like, maybe I should read Superman. And I was like, Spike. Okay, so, Spike, A Dark Place. Remember we left off in space, met some new people that I thought were going to be the super team. It turns out not a super team. They just kicked his ass, and then they left and went back into space. That was great. I think Spike might have a new crush, which is unfortunate because she's a succubus. So follow it. It's rad.
They're always a succubus.
Always are.
Dark Knight, number 13. I really like the new Scarecrow. He's very creepy, which he should be. You get to get a glimpse into Scarecrow's really optimistic and positive childhood that attributed to his psychotic tendencies. A lot of fun.
That is good. You know, Scarecrow is so good. He deserves his own run.
Yeah.
At least a 1 through 5, I'd say.
At least a miniseries.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. Speaking of people who have miniseries and the mushing the series and awesomeness, you guys, Star Trek Doctor Who is a nerd's dream. This is so fun. Okay, let me catch you up in case you're not paying attention, or maybe you're iffy because you're more Doctor Who and not so much Star Trek, Doctor Who. Let me sway you because I love both. Okay, so Doctor Who is traveling in time like he does, and he's like, oh my god, I don't know where we're going, and he's like, poof, we're somewhere in San Francisco. But if you recall in Star Trek, the place where they all like to hang out is in the, what's the holodeck? And they like to hang out in those murder mystery books that they do. And so that's where they end up. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then Riker's all like, you know what, computer? I'm going to kill you right now. Computer off. And they don't go anywhere because they're real. Okay, so now they're on the Enterprise. The Doctor, his companions, and then all the regular cast of Star Trek. And then the conflict is Cybermen versus cyborgs. So, you know, Doctor Who, Star Trek, the lovers will understand. And they thought they were joining forces, but it turns out they're not, and Cybermen are just, like, gonna take over the universe. And Jean-Luc Picard is like, I don't even know you, Doctor, and the Doctor's like, no, it's cool. And then the Whoopi Goldberg character in Star Trek's name, I don't know, is all like, no, I can sense that he, like, knows what's up. So, it is a riot. Get on it.
Whoopi Goldberg's character's name, of course, being Guinan.
Guinan. See, I didn't know because I wasn't sure how the pronunciation of it.
It's Ginian.
That's what I was saying in my head when I was reading it.
Next, new Spawn. I had to pick up Spawn because of the lovely throwback to the Dark Knight Returns.
And he knew it before he read that that's what it was. He just knew.
I knew before they told me. Awesome. Basically, there's a new Spawn who's still trying to unravel and fight the conspiracy that old Spawn was like totally sucked into with Jason Wynn and that whole Evil Corporation and Project Ragnarok and stuff like that, you know, that old thing. And quite good. Todd McFarlane writing again. Hooray, Spawn.
Okay, this is just a little something I want to slip in. I picked up another fun, just like What If thing, because I like the cover, so I read it, and Mad Magazine, you know, always gives me a chuckle. If you're a Twihard fan, you need to read this, and the great part is, this is not for anti-Twilight people who want to make fun of Twilight. This is for Twihards who love Twilight, because they're the only people who are going to get these awesome jokes. And it's totally making fun of Twilight, obviously. It makes them look like fools, but only we're gonna get that, and we know why it's funny. So you should read it. It's funny.
Is Twihards?
That
means
hardcore Twilight fans.
Twihards. Man, some things you can't unlearn.
It's cool. It's usually more often used, I think, as an insult than it is. But I'm taking it back.
I wouldn't know. I'm more into face ripping off vampires than sparkly, adorable PG-13 sexy vampires.
I'm not prejudiced for any vampire. I love them all.
Alright, this week's Why Don't You Love This Book Yet is for DMZ. DMZ just ended, which is lucky for any of you who come to love it now, because you can burn through the whole thing. I've been reading it since Volume 1 came out, like 6 years ago, and I've just been a devout fan the whole time. If you ever get tired of superheroes and the apocalypse and space monsters and zombies and, you know, all the stuff that these crazy fantastical worlds that we get sucked into being comic lovers, and you just want to, for once, just get sucked into a good character-driven drama that's based in the real world. DMZ is super rad. It is, you know, realistic, could actually take place, and I just love it to death. It's the tale of the Second Civil War, where all of our military is spread out across the world, and the basically the central of the United States, calling themselves the Free States, basically a bunch of militant rednecks, rise up and sweep across the land, kind of absorbing and recruiting everyone in their midst, until finally the Free States front, by the time the United States realizes what's going on, the front is all the way on the East Coast, all the way pushed up to New York. And neither side can take Manhattan or even get troops implanted into Manhattan, so the island becomes the DMZ. And our wonderful protagonist, Maddie Roth, is an intern for a national news corporation, gets flown in on a helicopter, the first flyover to try to take pictures of the DMZ, gets shot down, only survivor, and he becomes the only media presence on the island and stays to document the war, and gets sucked in and eventually becomes a super, you know, very integral player in the war itself. And it just ended, and I almost wanted to tear up a little bit at the end. It was, you know, Maddie Roth is my hero. And that's what I got for this week. You can
Thank you.
Yeah, you can finish it.
I'm so moved by that passionate speech you just made. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the Galactic Update. Please subscribe, the button that's probably over here somewhere. Please subscribe. We only have one subscriber. And that's where I'm going to cut it.
Alright, see you next week, guys, for our Halloween episode.
Yes, we're wearing costumes.